All right, Shalom. First and foremost, before I begin this lesson, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to our Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, blessings, salutations, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Barakatham, to you sincere Akim, Wahakwath, keeping the faith, diligence, and testimony of our Lord Yahweh Shai, occupying in the prophecies until our Lord come. So this would be a lesson in the spirit, you know, going into this devil, man, all right, Esau, Edom, and how this nigga is really trying to reset the narrative and at the same time come down hard on you Jakes, all right, which would be you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right? Because right now, what he's doing, really what he's been doing, is he's been building a case, all right, against you Israelites to pretty much put you down as the blame as for why America, Babylon the Great, is going down the drain, all right? Because that's what these devils do, all right? Anytime they mess up, anytime they start to take L's, the scapegoat, you know, they always want to put the blame on you Jakes, man. So we're in that time where that accusation is coming forth, and that's why, you know, this devil, he's been building up a campaign in the news, right, to put so-called black against so-called white, all right? He's putting you out there, Jake, as the problem. Okay, when you look at what he's doing, all right, the EP files, this nigga starting wars all over the earth, all right, he's poisoning the food, he's, you know, poisoning the water, he's destroying people's mental health, he's building data centers all over the place, you know, all kind of fish are dying off, birds falling out the sky, but yet you Israelites are going to be the reason as to why the earth is the way it is, as to why America is the way it is and where it's going. Who's in rulership right now? Is it a so-called black man that's in the White House? Is it a so-called a Native American? Is it a Latino that's in the White House right now? Or is it a so-called white man, DJT? All right, look at his cabinet, man. You have children that are running the show of this country. But some way, somehow, the blame is going to come down again on you Jakes, man. Okay, and it shows you that this devil, Esau, Edom, he is the accuser of the brethren. All right, because he needs a reason, man. And see, he knows that he's losing his kingdom, he's losing his women, he's losing his power, losing his influence. All right, so, you know, we'll get it in Revelation 12th chapter, but the dragon is wroth. Okay, the dragon is wroth with the woman, the 12 tribes of Israel, and he's prepared to make war with the remnant, man. This, you know what I'm saying, this is why all of this is going on. And we'll tap into a few things today to show you that this devil, he wants blood, okay? He wants blood. That ancient hatred is coming back out on these devils. You know, they're becoming more bold, you know, and that's why you have all type of Jakes, you know, coming up, hung on trees, drowning, you know, the most recent one, Nolan Wells, you know, he's not the only one. There's many more that's happening just like that, that's going unreported, being swept under the rug. That's just the most high profile case, man. But I remember like a few months ago, there was I forget if he was Mexican, but he was a Latino, all right, Jake, man. They found him hanging from a tree not too far from Washington, D.C. And you know, that didn't really get too much coverage, but these things are happening. All right, so you know, let's get that real quick, man. You know, this is 1 Peter 5 and verse 8, and it reads, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour." So this devil, he's on the hunt, all right? And you Israelites, you are the prey, and you've always been the prey, All right, but we're just in the time now where he's about to really make you have to face that head on. And really, this is all from the Heavenly Father, man, because you have a lot of our people that are dead set on saving Esau. You know what I'm saying? They're dead set on wanting to save these devils. Okay, there was a video a brother put up where it was just one Jake, and he actually said, well, if white people can't be saved, I don't want to be saved. You know, if your God is racist, then I don't want to serve a God like that. Hey, well, you know what I'm saying? When you read in the scriptures, man, it tells you that the Most High, Yahweh, that he's for his people and his people only. You see? He's not for the rest of these nations, man. Okay, that's why he set our nation apart to be holy, to be separate from the other nations, man. You see? So these jakes don't understand what's going on. And see, you know, it's going to be niggas like that the Most High is going to make an example out of, man. Okay? The Lord is going to actually give you what you want. You see? You want to save the devil so bad, well, guess what? The Lord is going to send you the devil, man. All right? He's going to allow you to fall into the hands of the enemy. And, hey, the way it's looking now, a lot of our people wouldn't have it any other way. All right? But, yeah, you know, we're in that time where, hey, Jay, you got to be sober, be vigilant, man. Because these devils are going about as a roaring lion, okay? You know what I'm saying? You have to be very circumspect as to the times that we in right now. All right? Because these devils are being found out left and right. You know, the scriptures say, let's get it, that in Jeremiah, the 49th chapter, this is Jeremiah 49 and verse 10. And it reads, but I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. All right. So, you know, this is why your boy DJ T, right? He just passed some type of order at the Smithsonian to where now they have to sign. I forget if it's an NDA or something like that to disclose, you know, what he calls false information. Okay, which is really an attack on the truth, an attack on freedom of speech, and the fact that these devils don't want their wicked history to come out to the light, but it's already out there. Okay, the cat is already out the bag. You know, your whole wicked history has already been exposed. So, as a fugitive would do, right? He's trying to cause reasonable doubt to or you know, plausible deniability, right? To say that he's not who he really is, man. To say, oh, you know, I'm not the fugitive. I didn't mass murder hundreds of millions of Israelites. You know, I didn't drop nuclear bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. You know, I didn't conduct you know, Planned Parenthood and you know, bomb Black Wall Street and, you know, destroy Seneca Village and the Atlanta race massacre. And you know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't want to associate with these things. Okay, the Trail of Tears, you know, the American Mexican wars and all of that. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want to be held accountable for his crimes, man. But see, again, the Lord is making Esau bare. Okay, the fugitive is now being brought up on his charges, and he's about to be convicted, and he's paranoid. All right, the fugitive is paranoid, man, because he's been caught. You know what I'm saying? So this is why, and you know, we'll tap in. This is why these devils, you know, they're really about to crash out. Okay, and what's about to happen is there's about to be a FF attack on American soil that's going to be forwarded by the small hats. Okay, because they're being exposed as well. All right, it's now pretty much known that they're not the people. Okay, that they are not the true Israelites of the Bible, man, that they're frauds, they're imposters. Okay, the ancient Israelites that were in the land at the time of Yahushua would have looked more similar to a brother such as myself than any devil that's over there right now. And see, this is what they've been trying to hide, all right, for the longest time. But we in the last days now, as was prophesied in Daniel, that in the last days, knowledge would man would run to and fro, and knowledge would greatly increase. So we're in the age of information to now where these things are open knowledge now. Okay, you have all kind of Edomites, coming out online and say, oh well, the real Jews are black. Okay, yeah, that's common knowledge now. All right, and that vibration, that vibration of truth, has been forwarded by who? The prophets of Yahweh Shemel Shai, starting with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone on down, man. Okay, so again, the fugitive has been found out. His crimes are being dug up, and he's being made bare. So I want to play this video, this TikTok with this Jake. All right, I saw a few brothers do lessons on it. I saw this video about a week ago. I wanted to do something on it, but the spirit didn't permit. But Lord willing, now the spirit permits. So we'll tap in. But the KKK can't wait for the power to go out.
Black people, black people, black people. Do you know who's watching you more than anybody else on this planet? Do you know who is banking on the economic collapse and worldwide moral deprivation more than anybody else who's waiting? The people that are waiting for the light to get cut out? It is the Ku Klux Klan. Now, I know a lot of you tough guys that say, well, I'm going to be ready. I got this, and I'm going to be ready, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do this. You don't know what you're going to do. You see, the thing is, what I want you to understand is that there is a group in every state of this country, whether you want to realize it or not, whether you want to accept it or not, that cannot wait until they cut the lights out, until economic collapse comes, until the military is flooding the streets. They can't wait to come after little Terry, little Charles, little Bobby, little Brandon, Keisha, Fefe, Tanya. Can't wait to come after your grandma. They can't wait to come after your children. Why? Because a lot of people in America, right? They always say that this is they don't exist, which is cap. They always say that was the past, which is cap. And they always say that certain topics don't need to be talked about. But my warning to Black America is you had better be paying attention. I'm not telling you to be worried, because I'm not worried about it. But I am paying attention, because the more and more the streets are being flooded with our blood by our own hands and by the hands of everybody else, guess what? They are banking on the fact that a lot of black people who are in the loop, right, who are in the matrix, they can't wait to catch you off guard. They can't wait to...
Yeah, and the scriptures speak about in Isaiah the 59th chapter, right? Let's see if we can get that real quick. Isaiah 59, where it speaks about how the enemy shall come in like a flood. Also in 2nd Ezra 16, where it speaks about how they shall be as madmen, sparing none. All right, spoiling and destroying those who fear the Lord. So these devils, look, once they turn the lights off, that's pretty much it. Because at that point, they're, it's not going to be 911. It's not going to be any safety net for you Jakes, man. Okay, it's either the Lord is with you or you're going to be without. You're going to perish. All right, in these wars, and Esau is going to come get you, man. All right, the scriptures already tell you. This is Isaiah 59. Isaiah 59 and Salakia. Yep, Isaiah 59 and 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. And see, the Spirit of the Lord is going to lift up a standard against him for his elect, okay? Because the scriptures already tell you that the unfaithful, that they're going to die in their unfaithfulness, man, okay? So the Lord is only going to deal with his elect, his chosen in these last days, man. 2/3 of our people are going to perish by the incoming flood of the enemy that's going to come in, man. Because why? The Lord is not going to give them protection. He's not going to give them that thawah, that mark of exemption, which is what we hoping for. All right? We praying that the Lord have mercy upon us, have mercy upon, you know, our household, that we be spared from the judgment that's coming. Because all these things that are coming on the earth, Esau coming in. Remember, Psalm 17, that the wicked is the sword of the Most High. So the Lord is going to do a lot of judgment by way of these devils, man. Okay? And that's the bottom line. Now, let's get 2nd Ezra 16 real quick. Right? Because our people don't understand, man. Like, you out here trying to, you know, save these devils. and these devils want to off your ass, man. Okay? They really trying to make sure that you disappear speedily, right? That's in 2nd Ezra 16. 2nd Ezra 16 chapter and verse, that's 69. Yep. 2nd Ezra 16 and verse 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you, being idle, with things offered unto idols. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach, and trodden under foot. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold, as the gold in the fire. See, so we're going to have to undergo a trial. Okay, the Lord is going to put his faithful to the test, just as all the men of the Lord were put to the test, man. Okay, Daniel in the lions, then, you know, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, when they were thrown into the fiery furnace. Noah had to go through the flood. Okay, all of the apostles, you know what I'm saying? Yahushua, he had to, you know what I'm saying, bear his cross. All right, so what make you think that you just gonna walk into the kingdom unscathed? No, the scriptures say that through much tribulation must we enter into the kingdom, right? So there's gonna be an hour of trial. You know what I'm saying? Revelation 3 and 10. You know what I'm saying? The hour of temptation where you're gonna be presented with the mark of the beast. Okay, you're going to be tempted with, you know what I'm saying, being thrown into prison by the devil. You know, some of us are going to be beheaded, some of us are going to be hung. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be all kind of stuff going on, man. But all of it is for the refinement of the elect, for the glory of Yahweh Bashmi Oshai, man. That's what this thing is all about. So this is why you see this animosity that's building up. You know what I'm saying? This narrative that's being put out there. Because the more truth that comes out about this devil, this is what's making him get turned up even more. Because he knows that once the truth really comes out for what it is, that's his end. Because he's built his whole foundation, his whole kingdom on lies, man. And now those lies are starting to be unraveled. All right, let's tap back into the video.
Hop out the cuts in F-150s with that Confederate flag and those white sheets, because you're going to see it. A lot of y'all don't think that it's prevalent to you today. It is much more prevalent than it was back then. I'm going to tell you why. Because a lot of Ku Klux Klan members are in Tennessee, they're in Missouri, they're in Texas, they're in Virginia, they're in New York, they're in every state that you can imagine. Now, one thing about them is they camouflage very well. Because you have to understand, right? It's not that people in this country like you. It's the fact that they've come to terms and accepted the fact that they have to tolerate you. Tolerating somebody and liking somebody are two different things, right? When someone likes you, they do right by you, right? They respect you. But when when someone tolerates you, that's more so a camouflage to say, hey, I'm going to have a certain demeanor towards them, but my inward plans are to do you harm.
And that's an excellent point, okay? Because Esau, he's never liked you, okay? Esau has always hated you, Israelites, man. And he's shown you that throughout the history that, you know, we've dealt with Esau. It's never been a thing where oh, Jake and Esau, buddy, and we just get up. Nah, man, like it's always been friction between us. And that goes back to the garden, okay? When, you know, the Heavenly Father, he said he was going to put enmity or hatred, vitriol, you know, contention between the seed of the serpent and the seed of the woman. That's what's been playing out since the very beginning. So that's why there's always this tension against so-called black and so-called white. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why it's mainly focused on the tribe of Judah, you know, the so-called black man, is because that's the head tribe. Okay, Esau understands that, hey, if you want to take down the whole nation, you got to cut off the head. So that's why he's always been so fixated on Judah, okay? Yeah, he does put hell on the other tribes too, but his main focus is on the so-called black man, so-called black woman. Because if you take down the head of the nation, well, you know what I'm saying, the rest of the rest of the nation can't survive. Okay, so this devil understands that, you know, so that's why it's always been that dynamic. You see what I'm saying? And you know, the brother made an excellent point the way he said these devils, they tolerate you. Okay, they don't like you. They don't, you know what I'm saying? Really, the scriptures tell you that we are grievous even to behold unto them, man. That they hate to even look at us. Okay, that's how much that they despise you. All right, and really it's all spiritual. And I remember watching the video to where it went into it to where it was this one Eve, you know, this Eve, I forget if she was a psychiatrist or, you know, something like that. Doesn't matter, but she basically brought out that racist, all right, so-called white people, that when they just look at a so-called black person, it ignites it basically ignites hatred within them. Like they just can't stand the sight of you. And like I said, the scriptures say that we are grievous unto them to behold. All right, so everything is spiritual, man. You know what I'm saying? Like Yahweh Bashmiel Shah really set this thing up to where these things have to play out. All right, and I want to grab this as well because like I mentioned before, man, you know, these devils, they're getting very, very bold. You see, these devils are getting very, very bold, man. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just coming out and they're letting it be known, especially amongst these elites, okay, these politicians. Now this is from Jake Lang. He was involved in the January 6th riot, you know what I'm saying? And it's this post on X that says Christian Crusaders will be hosting a peaceful freedom of speech rally on August 22nd at Minneapolis City Hall. All right, and this is the flyer. Check this out. See that? Nigger March, August 22nd, Minneapolis City Hall. 12 noon, freedom of speech rally. All right, so you already see what type of time that these devils are on, man. Okay, they're just now, it's like they're going back to the Jim Crow. And see, Esau, he's tired of having to be what's the word? You know, Esau, he's tired of having to apologize for being white. You know, that's why they got a thing now. Oh, it's okay to be white. You know, we don't have to be ashamed of our history. Which that's these devils doubling down on their wickedness. Let me drink some water real quick, Salakia. You know, that's these devils doubling down on their wickedness, man. You know, but the point is that Esau, he's tired of having the finger being pointed at him and being told that he's the devil, being told that he's wrong. Okay, so now they're tapping back into that ancient hatred, if you will, and now they're just about to be unapologetically what they are, okay, towards you Jace, man. Okay, so you saw the flyer, Negro March, and it's centered around free speech, okay, and see these devils, you know, they need to establish some sort of masculinity, okay, back into the Edomite man, because it's not there, okay. They ain't got it, man. Esau ain't never had it, okay. They're losing their country. They looking bad all across the earth. You know, their true history is coming out. So this is the fugitive responding to the accusation. Okay, this is the fugitive now, trying to, you know, clap back. Like, oh yeah, you know, you saying this about me? Well, guess what? You know, I done this and that. You know, now they tapping back heavy into the scientific racism. You know, now they, you know, walking up on Jake. You had guys like Chud, you know what I'm saying, just walking up on Jake, just, you know, blatantly calling Jake the N-word. You know, oh, you chimping out and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the fugitive responding to the accusations because he's guilty. All right? So, you know what I'm saying? This is all that he has left now. This is one video. Let me see. Because these, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, yep, here we go. Hold on. Yeah.
But because Chud is white, they have politically persecuted him, and they're holding him on a ridiculous $1.25 million bond, absorbent, egregious political persecution. Free Chud! Free Chud! Hey guys, we're outside Chud the Builder's courthouse right now.
So, you know, they out there advocating for Chud, man, which, hey, Chud is a goddamn loser. Chud is a goddamn sodomite, man. Okay, that's who you want to rally behind. A guy that likes to get his rectum popped by, you know, what you call it, tops, or what, you know what I'm saying, whatever they call that shit, man. You know, but bottom line is they're trying to champion a damn sodomite. Okay, this nigga's in jail. You talking about free him, and he just blatantly lied and said, oh, if it was a black man that shot a white man in self-defense, this wouldn't even have came up. You know what I'm saying? That's a goddamn lie. Okay? Prime example, what's his name? Carmelo Anthony, right? Where literally self-defense against a so-called white man, all right, stabbed him to death, put him back in the spirit world, and he's in jail. You know what I'm saying? So that's what these devils do. They just come out and they just blatantly lie because, again, they have nothing left. All right, all they can do is project slander and try to play the victim. That's all they have left, man. Because why? All the information, the spirit in the earth is against them. So this is them responding. Okay, yeah, let's have a nigger march. Okay, let's you know, blame the migrant. Okay, let's blame the black man. Let's blame the, you know, black woman. Okay, well, yeah, sure. You know, our nation, yeah, we do have a lot of problems. Yeah. But see, you Edomites, all right, they're out here acting like they're just very unproblematic, like they're not a problem at all. But as a matter of fact, they're the biggest problem. They're the biggest threat to the earth and always have been. Okay, the pale male, you see, is the most dangerous entity on the planet Earth to life itself, even to his own nation of people. But again, it's the migrant, it's the black man, okay? It's the Native American, you know? It's everything else other than him. That's the problem as to why everything is going left. Because you see, this goes against the narrative of so-called white supremacy, Edomite supremacy, to where they can do no wrong. They created civilization. You know, they created everything good that we enjoy today. You know, just like Esau say, oh, well, if it wasn't for the white man, then you niggas would still be living in mud huts. You know, you dummy. We wasn't living in no goddamn mud huts. You know what I'm saying? We had civilization before you came into the picture. We was ruling in Europe. You know what I'm saying? We had the you know, the kingdom of Israel under King David and King Solomon. You know, until that fell apart, you know, we had the kingdom of Mali, you know, Timbuktu. You know, there's various Israelite civilizations that have been prosperous, you know what I'm saying, over the centuries, man. But, you know what I'm saying, these devils, they try to erase that, again, to support this narrative of the so-called white man being supreme, you see? And even that narrative is not sticking no more, because really what's now being found out is that, you know, all this history of the Middle Ages and him being the king, the knights, and him being the Vikings, all that is a goddamn lie. Okay, those were jakes, man. And that's being found out too. You go on TikTok, it's all kind of videos of, you know what I'm saying, Edomites bringing this information out. So, again, matter of fact, let's just get it. Revelation, let's get the whole chapter, right? Revelation 12 and verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power, and the power of his Hamashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which is Esau the devil, which accused them before our power day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they love not their lives unto the death. Verse 12, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And see, this is all due to the accusation. Okay, and this is why he's preparing to come down hard, you know, come against, you know what I'm saying, the Bill C-9 just passed in Canada not too long ago, to where basically they're gonna outlaw, or that's a predisposition, all right, to outlaw the freedom of speech. It's not saying it outright, but that's where they're going with it, okay, to even bring out certain Bible scriptures which, again, condemn and expose these devils, man. You know? So this is why they're gonna come down hard with ICE. This is why they're gonna freeze people's bank accounts. This is why they're gonna turn off the lights. Okay, this is why they're gonna do T attacks on American soil. Okay, to stop this inquisition, to stop the exposure, man. But it's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Because this is not of men. Okay, this is of Yahweh Shemel Shasi. This is the spirit of the Lord that's moving on this devil. As is prophesied in Joel, you know what I'm saying, that in the last days, that the Lord will pour out his spirit upon all flesh, okay, and that your sons and your daughters will prophesy. You know, there's even a spirit on particular heathen to come out and expose Esau for what it is. All right? So this is why he's coming down with great wrath. 13, now, listen carefully. And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, the dragon is Esau, Edom, Rome, okay? Saw that he was cast unto the earth, meaning that his rulership is being taken down, all right? He's being cast out of heaven. He's being cast out of his rulership. What did he do? He persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. The man-child is Yahweh Shai. Okay, just as when Yahweh Shai was born, King Herod, which was an Edomite, all right, he put out a decree to kill all the firstborn males of the Jews. You see, because he feared that the Messiah, because he knew the prophecy, that the Messiah was going to come out of the line of King David, out of Judah. So he gave a decree to put all the, you know what I'm saying, males to death. You know what I'm saying? So that a Messiah would not rise up in the nation of Israel to come and take him down from his rule, man. It's all spiritual. It's the same thing that Esau going through now, because he feels it that his judgment is coming, but he's trying to stop it. All right. So it says, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child, and to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time from the face of the serpent. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. Now, when you jump down to verse 17, and it reads, and the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of Yahweh and have the testimony of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. So this devil, he's at war with you Jakes, all right? He's at war with you Jakes, and that's why he's doing what he's doing, all right? He's trying to form this campaign to point you as the problem, right? To point you out as the reason why everyone's life is miserable, to why everything's going to shit. Oh, well, don't look at what I'm doing. Look at these niggas. Okay, look at the so-called black man. Look at the Latino man. Look at the Native American. Look at everybody else except the so-called white man. All right. See, but there's a testimony in the earth that is against his narrative, and he don't like that because he wants to control the narrative, which he does not anymore. All right. Now, yeah, there was another article I had. Let me pull it up real quick. Bear with me one moment, Salakia. Yep, here we go. Trump escalates Smithsonian attack with order for signs outside History Museum. All right. So, prime example, Esau's hurt. He's putting out decrees to the Smithsonian. Oh, you can't show this. Oh, you can't, you have to put this away. That's why he's taking down statues of Teddy Roosevelt and all these devils, man, George Washington. Because why? The accusation, you see, and he's trying to lay accusation to the Lord's elect, but it's not going to stick. Romans 8 and verse 33. Matter of fact, let's start at 32. He that spared not his own son, but delivered him up for us all, how shall he not with him also freely give us all things? Who shall lay anything to the charge of Yahweh Bashno Shai's elect? It is Yahweh that justifieth. See? So who can lay any charge to the Lord's elect, man? Because ultimately, the Lord's elect have the blood of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai to cover them. All right? Those of us that have accepted the blood of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, we have our big bro in the heavens that's advocating for us, man. Okay, he's our lawyer against the plaintiff, which is Esau. All right, because Esau, he complain, he say, oh, they doing this, they doing that. And Yahweh Shai is like, all right, yeah, I know. They're in the flesh, they're trying. But ultimately, I've already redeemed them. Okay, I've already paid for their sins. So you can't accuse them no more, devil. You see? But nonetheless, that's what he set up to do. Esau, he set up to be that accuser, man. But he cannot lay a charge against the Lord's elect. All right? Psalm 73 and verse 6. Pursuant to these devils. Therefore, pride compasses them about as a chain. Violence covers them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than the heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. Yeah. They speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak proudly. Oh, we're the master race. You know what I'm saying? We built this and we built that, and you are nothing, and we will crush you. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? That devil, Stephen Miller, right? When he gave that speech, you know, last year when they first, you know, showed him or whatever. So, oh, you know, we came from the caves and, you know, going back to Rome and in Greece and all. You know what I'm saying? Like, these devils are crazy, man. They speak proudly. They speak loftily concerning oppression. Oh, get over it. You know, you're not the only ones that were enslaved. It wasn't that bad. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, right? That's how these devils talk, all right? Yeah, that's pretty much the point, you know, Psalm 73. But the point is, man, that look, these devils are about to be taken down because their reign of terror on the earth is just about up. And see, Esau knows that, you know what I'm saying, it's nothing that he can do about it, you know? Because he's being found out right now to be a liar and the father of lies. Deuteronomy 33:29, happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people saved by the Lord, the shield of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency. And thine enemies shall be found liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places. See, so at the end, the elect are going to overcome these devils, man. All right, so the accusation, the lies, the slander that Esau's been doing for the longest time, it's not sticking no more, man, because his works are now being put out there. His works are not being brought to the forefront. Okay? And the scriptures say that the joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment. So his, you know what I'm saying, his little season, his little moment to rule and do all this wicked shit, that's coming to an end. All right? And the Most High is making Esau really feel it, man, because he's literally putting Esau out there to the world as the devil, man. Okay, because all he's done is deceive. All he's done is lie. Again, his whole existence, his whole kingdom is built off of nothing but lies, deceit, and falsehood, man. See? And guess what? At the end of the day, yeah, lies prosper for a season, but at the end, the lies are going to be overcome. All right? Matter of fact, I got to get that now. 2nd Ezra 6. Because look, hey, Esau is the end of the world. And the end of Esau's world is synonymous with his exposure, okay, his revealing, all right, and ultimately him being destroyed by thermonuclear fire and by the chariots, okay, of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Oh, matter of fact, we got to get that too. Call Yahweh Shemel Shai, 2nd Ezra 6. And I'm going to start at about 19. Matter of fact, let's start at 2nd Ezra 6 in verse 18. And it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth. And I will begin to make inquisition of them, what they be that have hurt unjustly. When you go into the word inquisition, it means a period of prolonged and intense questioning. See? So this devil, all right, he's being inquired of right now. Okay, he's being interrogated on everything that he's done. This is why he's hurt. What they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Sion shall be fulfilled, which is just about fulfilled now. Verse 20, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens. The book shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. All right, now when you jump down, and it reads in verse 27, for evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. Who is the main one that is forwarded evil and deceit upon the earth? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, beyond a shadow of a doubt. Verse 28, as for faith that shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome, and the truth which hath been so long without fruit shall be declared. See that? So this is why the Lord is bringing everything out now. Okay, he's revealing to the world who his true people are. He's revealing to the world who the devil is, who Satan is, okay, who the serpent is. All right. And this is why, as it says here, let me get it real quick. Revelation 2:10. Okay, because the fugitive, his response is going to be, all right, well, if I'm going to be exposed, I'm going to have to stop you from exposing me. And there was a small hat devil, right? She has said that the biggest threat to the state of Israel is the young black generation in America. All right. She actually said that, man. But why would she say that? All right. Do we have an army? Do we have tanks? We got guns. You know what I'm saying? We got nukes. We have a vast army. So why are we the threat? Well, it's because of the testimony that we hold and the fact that we oppose these devils even unto the death, man. That's why we're the biggest threat to them, because they know who we are. All right. And this is why they about to, you know what I'm saying, start rolling up on brothers, man. All right. Kicking in doors, just doing, you know what I'm saying? These devils are going to do what they got to do. But it's all to fulfill prophecy. Revelation 2:10, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried. And ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. See? So the devil is going to cast some of us into prison. How many camps do they have set up all across America, all across all these 50 states, man? Tens of thousands, okay, they you know what I'm saying? They just built, you know, to house however many people, man, because they know they're coming into this NWO, there's going to be a lot of resistance that they're prepared for. So this is why, you know, they're going to, you know, come around with ICE, because what ICE has been doing is that they've been practicing on the migrants, right, so-called doing these deportations, right? But what they're really practicing for is for when the lights go out, for when civil unrest becomes mass, you know, widespread, to where they're going to go about grabbing people up and doing the same thing they've been doing to the migrants. They're going to start doing it to American citizens, man, and throwing them into these camps, throwing you in the back of a black van, you know what I'm saying, hauling you off to a detention center, you know what I'm saying, hauling you off to the nearest military camp. They're going to throw fatigues on you and ship you overseas to fight and die in this World War III. That's the time we're coming into. Okay? And these devils, you know what I'm saying, they're even prepared to make war against Yahweh Shai. This is Revelation. Let's go to Revelation 19. Revelation 19, because, you know what I'm saying, also when you read in 2 Ezra 13 as well, to talk about how in the midst of World War III, these nations are going to be fighting themselves. Then when Yahweh Shai return, they're going to turn their guns on him to fight him. But it also goes into it here in Revelation the 19th chapter. When you read up at about verse 11, tells you about, you know, he that sat on the white horse called Faithful and True. That's Yahweh Shai, you know. And in righteousness, he does judge and make war. All right. Verse 14, and his armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And those white horses are referring to the chariots. Okay, the so-called UFOs, the UAPs, man. Okay, that's how Yahweh Shai and the angels are going to make battle, all right, with the armies of the earth during this World War III. All right, let's get straight to the point. Get ready to close out. And it says, verse 17, and I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great God, that ye may eat the flesh of kings, and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses. And see, this is going to be the end of these Edomites and these nations, man. Okay, and these things are written, because when Yahweh Shai come back, it already tell you that they're going to be in the bunkers, and they're going to say what to the rocks, all right? Because they're going to be inside the mountains and all of that. They're going to say, fall on us and hide us from what? The face of the Lamb, okay? Hide us from Yahweh Shai, because they know that they're not going to be able to stand when he come with his judgment. See? And the flesh of horses and of them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great. And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. So these nations doing, World War III, they're going to be fighting each other. Then when Yahweh Shah come back, all right, they're going to make war against him. And see, this is going to be the great climax of the whole story, man. Good against evil, all right? The seed of the serpent against the seed of the woman. You see? Because the reason why, and this ties into the lesson, but the reason why these devils hate you, Jake, so much is because when they look at you, they see Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, all right? Because the scriptures tell you that we were made in the image of the Most High, the angels, his son, okay? So that's why they hate you so much. Why? Because they hate the Lord. They hate Yahweh Shai, okay? So when they look at you, Jakes, that's like, you know what I'm saying? They're looking at the Lord. Because why? Because the Lord hates them. The Lord is not for them. So because they can't get to the Lord, they take out their anger, their hatred, their frustration on you. See? So these are things you got to understand, man, that everything is spiritual. It's not, we don't wrestle against, Ephesians 6, you know what I'm saying? We don't wrestle against flesh and blood. You know what I'm saying? This is bigger. This is beyond the flesh, man. All right? This is a spiritual war that we're involved in. Okay? Spiritual wickedness in high places, man. This is what this is all about. Good against evil. And in the end, the good is going to overcome. All right? So, they're going to make war, all right, against Yahweh Shai and against the armies of heaven. Verse 20, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, and with which he deceived them that received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire, burning with brimstone. And that's going to be the aftermath of when the nuclear missiles, the laser chariot fire burns this place, America, Babylon the Great, man. This is going to be that lake of fire, okay? Thermonuclear fire, laser chariot fire, man. And all those that forsook the Lord, so all these Edomites, these heathen, they're going to burn right here in this place, man. Verse 21, and the remnant were slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse, which sword proceeded out of his mouth, and all the fowls were filled with their flesh. All right, so that's going to be the end of these Edomites and these heathens, man. And 2/3 of our people that refuse to repent on this side, man. A very brutal death, brutal judgment. Okay? So this is for, the sincere believers, man. You know what I'm saying? The sincere Akim Wa'akwaf persecution is coming. Stand fast, hold the faith, and pray unto Yahweh Shemel Shai without ceasing, man, because, hey, we're in that time where we're going to need deliverance. You know what I'm saying? We're in that time where we're going to need that spiritual power, divine protection to stand in the faces of our enemies and overcome, man. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out, Lord willing. This lesson has been edifying through the Rakah Kedash. In closing, call the Lord Yahweh Bashmel Shai, Bashem Rakah Kedash. And until next time, shalom to the elect. Kum Yasha'Allah, Ba Ba Ba. Shalom.